back, and now it's time for us to take a look at what's happening on the Viewpoint. Being Wednesday, the 12th day of 13th day, actually. 12th? Went back a day. All right, so let's take a look at what's happening in the political scene. Yesterday, Rafael Tuju, who is now the executive director under the Azimio One Kenya Alliance, had a meeting at Serena Hotel in Nairobi with the different secretary generals of different parties in a bid to bring down some of the simmering tension in the party. And he had a message from the president and ODM boss, Raila Odinga. And now today, I want us to discuss that as well, just to understand what is the whole scenario, what is the whole issue under the Azimio la Umoja party, as alliance, so to speak. And now joining me in studio, I have got gentleman that is Anthony Ogato, who is a member of parliament aspirant in actually in Kitutu, Masaba, and Tabitha Ogutu, who is our analyst live from Siaya County. There you have them. Lady and gentlemen, good morning. Starting with you. Ladies first. Tabitha, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. I'm doing great. Apparently, your network is stuttering, but nonetheless, I got you. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. And Anthony Mbuyore.
Mbiyamono, good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you. How is Kitutu Masaba?
Kitutu Masaba is fine and it looks good. The weather is good today. It didn't rain. It rained last night, actually.
Yes.
And we have a lot of matokes around here. Well, it's good.
We have a gentleman from that region who says that Anto should do something. You talked about matoke. And things with matoke, avocados, saga, sugarcane. It's a blessed land. Okay, let's get straight to this. Anthony, first of all, you are an aspirant in that particular region. Please give me an overview of how the situation is in Kitutu Masaba constituency.
Well, Kitutu Masaba is good, and our people, we are about almost 11, 12 aspirants and from different parties. But myself, I'm a Jubilee aspirant. We are two in this ticket, and we are battering it together. And we hope by 21st we will know out of the two who is gonna be the flag bearer.
Yes.
Quite frankly, our people in Kitutu Masaba are really eager for the change because they feel that the incumbent has not delivered as they expected, and the people expect their leader to be among them or one of them, or not get lost until the election period, which has really happened. So, we are traversing the constituency, and we are talking to our people, and our people are really, really very receptive.
Yes. One interesting bit is that Jubilee is fielding a candidate, and in that particular region, which is part of the larger Nyanza province, did not produce any candidate under ODM. How are you going to crack the whip, to crack that hard nut for you to win that election under Jubilee ticket?
Quite frankly, in Nyamira County, Kitutu Masaba is the only constituency that in 2017 produced a Jubilee candidate. The incumbent was a Jubilee candidate, and he already decamped to UDA, and our people are not satisfied with the kind of services they have received from the same. So ODM, Kitutu Masaba is not a personality, or is not a party constituency candidate. They don't look at the party, they look at the person. So, and they also look at the manifesto that the candidates put forward. So I hope, as of now, I am sure I'm the best with the kind of manifesto I put forward. And with my kind of background, I think I'm the best candidate placed.
Absolutely. And we wish you all the best now that you have got the nominations coming up on 21st of this month, if I get it right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. So there seemed to be a storm in the party. Rafael Tuju yesterday moved to quell such kind of assertions that there is some kind of unease in the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya alliance. And yesterday he said that everything is under control. In your own formed opinion, what is happening?
Quite frankly, you can imagine, Azimio la Umoja with those kind of multiple parties in it.
Yes, the three to be precise.
Yes, you can just liken it to a polygamous family with one father. And you could easily imagine how much, especially a polygamous family can be led by one father. And now, I don't see any problem with how things are being done, but the whole issue is about the whose interests have to be served first before the other, or how things have to be done. But I truly believe that the party will has ways to overdo all this. But Jubilee in Azimio, Jubilee has no presidential candidate, but ODM has the presidential candidate. So all these other parties are supporting the presidency, but all other parties have their own candidates. Now,
yes.
every party.
Okay, Anthony, I'll get back.
In the
all right, Anthony, just to stabilize your network, we'll get back to you shortly. But let me bring in Tabitha Ogutu from here. Tabitha, once again, good morning. Rafael Tuju yesterday moved to say that, everything is under control under the coalition. And as we can easily predict, the entrance of Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has completely changed the metrics. What do you think about that, Tabitha?
Yes, Victor, most definitely. We have seen a bit of unrest in Azimio coalition because of the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka's factor. He appears to not be satisfied or not to, really want, he says that the agreements have been changed, not what they had agreed on the day they were signing the coalition agreement. Yes. And he's even saying that they're not supposed to register yet Azimio as a coalition or as a party because he feels there's some undone business. And of course, as you have seen, the likes of Honorable Alfred Mutua, this does not sit down well with them. They feel that Kalonzo is playing a card that is time wasting. And he should have known already what he really had wanted before he had signed that coalition agreement ahead of their NDC. And we have seen him participating even in other political rally campaigns. Now, the big question is, what is it about Azimio right now that he's feeling uneasy about? And is the same person who was in agreement the other time about joining hands and working together with the like-minded individuals. And he said that Raila Amolo Odinga is his preferred presidential candidate. So what is the change over time? What is the factor in here? Maybe he never knew his stake earlier on, but I think this time that he's coming out to want to disrupt things and time is moving. I think this is so of Kalonzo. This is the Kalonzo we know. Kalonzo is never definite. He's neither here nor there. And so we would expect side things, but not to the extremes of of wanting to disrupt the proceedings, because he is appearing to be somebody who is individual-centered. It's about him. If it's not me, then I'm not here. But then, as it stands, he needs to literally, say what he wants, because we need to see the party or the coalition as Azimio moving forward. With the Tuju factor yesterday, I mean, like what Mheshimiwa was just said, it's unlikely. It's like a polygamous marriage. This is so polygamous. With you have your one husband with so many wives. We can attribute it to that analogy. And so everyone wants something. Everyone is seeking for attention. We have to, at the end of the day, remember, Victor, as much as all these parties are not wanting, they're not pitching for their presidential candidates from the individual parties. They also have to sustain themselves as parties. They need members of parliament. They need governors. They need senators. They also have to negotiate for something for them. So I think it's valid that we have these conversations, but it should not be at the point of threatening to go like what we are seeing with Kalonzo, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. I think they should just have a roundtable discussion, and I think I will applaud that, what is happening, to bringing them together. And we want to see what is it really that as parties or as the parties forming the coalition of Azimio, what they have as opinions, what they think has not been done right, because we cannot stand to have this kind of confusion a few months to the election. Already it's not something we want to see, so we could not afford to have it nearing the election. So let them square it right now. Even as they do nominations, I understand that in my county today we have the nominations for different positions. I think that with what we saw in Busia the other day, we have been having people saying that ODM is giving people direct tickets. They even claimed that Honorable Florence Mutua was given direct ticket. But we saw that yesterday, actually, those were just claims to try and make the party to appear undemocratic. The parties stand its ground. The nominations were fair. The best candidate won. And I think that is what we need to see all over the country. And I like the spirit of, if you're defeated, or it's not a defeat at all, it's just that in a competition there has to be a winner and a loser. So if you lose it to your competitor, then it does. You just peacefully congratulate them and join hands to work for the party to avoid this kind.
I'll come to that briefly so that you can give us, be our reporter from here, give us more details on what you should expect on the nominations to be held today. But then back to the main story here. Yesterday when Raphael Tuju met the party secretary generals, he had a message from the president, and the message was very clear. He called for an end to the public back and forth and asked them to instead use internal mechanisms to resolve differences. That was a message from the president. Well, it's a very simple message, but weighty, so to speak.
Yes, Victor. It's a very clear to the point message. I will assume already that these parties will know that. But then sometimes that is why we need to have leadership from the top. And I'm glad that the president, as the chairperson of the Azimio movement or Azimio coalition, is leading and giving direction and telling them, okay, we must have a few issues here and there, but the resolution mechanism is not for us to go to the public and start fighting and start, when we claim that we are one people, then it's just prudent enough that as we have conversation and even we have some issues here and there, even if it's nomination issues, even if it's post-allocation issues, any other issues that may come in, and even if they think that they did not bring some of their ideas or whatever they thought that could be included in the coalition, and they've just thought about it right now, going live on mainstream media and talking about it is not the solution at the end of the day, because they will have to sit down and discuss some of those things. So I feel that the president has given the best of the directions that I think should be emulated even with other coalition or even other parties. At this time and point, it's important that they have a sit down and channel. It's called channeling your ideas or your thoughts in a very civilized and a decorum way. So I think that is the direction the president is giving, because we do not want the issues to come out like we are being disunited. Is the thing that I even saw the other day? Is not the other day. Yesterday, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi was saying, unaona maneno ambayo inafanyika katika ile Azimio coalition, they don't have peace, they're not united, ni chama ya watu wahongo. You see, now when it appears that like this is a coalition of liars, it is the public perception, very important in politics, and it's being created because of a factor that some of the parties do not know how to channel their conversations or their ideas or opinions or whatsoever. So I think it's the right way to go, as the president had put it through Honorable Raphael Tuju.
Okay, Anthony, let me get your point, and you can weigh in on this subject. The president, as it is right now, we can say that there is a storm in the party, and the president is not quite amused about it. The entrance of Kalonzo Musyoka into the coalition actually has completely made it even harder for them to move on in terms of fast-tracking all the processes of coalition building, consensus, and agreement. What do you think is going to be the outcome at the end of the day?
I think the former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka is just only trying to get to be relevant or to keep himself on the mainstream media. That is one of the main players in this game in Azimio. Yes. But quite frankly, Kalonzo Musyoka is being unrealistic with the kind of support he gets from the Ukambani area, because he's not the only one. We have Charity Ngiru, we have Mutua, we have Kivuta Kibwana. So he is not the only, and that the area is completely divided. It doesn't have the all Ukambani. And if you move to other regions of the country, Kalonzo Musyoka it does not make sense in most regions, or does not have the support he needs. It is only in basically to fix self-interest, where he has to try to use the opportunity to negotiate, probably for the DP position. When you look at how he's maneuvering or what he's trying to do, I don't think he's making a lot of sense. I wish he was not even a factor, but now here we are. The only thing that can be done in Azimio is just to go with the like-minded supporters or people who can support the coalition to go forward. I personally, I do not prefer him.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
All right,
Yes.
Anthony, on Monday, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka wrote a letter, and in that letter, it was actually a protest letter. In part of that letter, he said that that there are some claims over alterations of the agreement deposited with the office of the registrar of political parties. One of the allegations is that the party raised concerns over the expansion of the coalition's party's caucuses from 3 to 4, increment of the coalition council members from 7 to 11, and the selection of the presidential candidate's running mate. These are some of the demands from some of the concerns from the Wiper Party to the registrar of political parties. Are they realistic?
Yeah, quite frankly, the Kalonzo Musyoka is trying to wreck Azimio from within. And he is a professional lawyer, and he's very smart, and I'm sure even the Wiper lawyers saw the document before it was deposited. That's very unrealistic that they missed that. And if they missed, that's inept on their part. Actually, it's a joke. It's a joke that those kind of letters he has to write from behind. And you see, it's like he's trying to wash the dirty linen in the public. Now, if there is a problem, he has the inside mechanism of even picking up phone and calling the principals and talking to them directly. But why should he just make it public unless he wants some public sympathy?
Right. I don't know what to make of that, Tabitha. Some of the demands by the Wiper leader. And of course, you know, when the president sent a message through Secretary General, that is Executive Director Rafael Tuju, the president, in a thinly actually veiled kind of a statement, the president in his word perhaps said that once everybody has agreed to enter into the agreement, then they should know that all right, then that actually should be happening in once somebody wants to withdraw from a party, then you have to withdraw after 6 months. So the president perhaps had a very stern message. But Tabitha, the questions that Kalonzo Musyoka raised, how do you think they are going to be effected? Because time is running out. Okay. All right, trying to get hold of Tabitha there from Sierra. Let me ask you, Anthony, as we get hold of Tabitha now, as we head to, you know, several nominations are taking place. Currently, today we have got Sierra County having theirs. What do you think is going to be the outcome? Because we have got several parties fielding candidates, and Jubilee is part of the Azimio, and the president is quite adamant, and we all know the person who is supporting, that is Honorable Raila Odinga. But then now, the Wiper Party, with, you know, certain demands, they need that seat of being the running mate.
Yes, in Azimio, the commonality factor is the presidential candidate, where we have Baba as our presidential candidate. But it has been very clear in Jubilee Party that we shall be fielding candidates in all other seats, and the party is very careful to use first consensus in its being one of the main methods of nominations. We'll be talking to candidates to make consensus before even going to nominations itself. Now, I think it's very important from our leader, who is Uhuru Kenyatta. In this party, you know, it has been beaten before, and we are being the party leadership is being careful that it has to come out with in a very clear way that the nominations have to be fair, so that it does not antagonize or separate the support that it is trying to make. You know, Jubilee is trying to make it trying to make the house, you know, clean up its house. So it wants to come out clear and strong. With all the ASMI, what the ODM is doing, you know, ODM has presidency, and there's also the other positions. So it is juggling between presidency and the other positions. But thank God, with Jubilee, we are only doing the candidates, and it has been very clear from the leadership that we have to try consensus first before we go to other methods of nominations. I think it's going to be okay at the end of the day.
All right. So let's take a break, and when we come back, we're still going to have that good discussion with Anthony Ogato from Kitutu, Masaba, as well as Tabitha Ogutu from Sierra County. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Still continue the discussion here, and with me is Anthony Ogato. I'm MP aspirant Kitutu Masaba, that in Nyamira County under Jubilee Party, and Tabitha Ogutu, all the way from Siaya County, who is a political analyst. All right. So, Tabitha, let me get your point on this particular issue here. Now, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka wrote a letter to the Registrar of Political Parties, and there's a twist in all of this. The twist is that the Registrar of Political Parties, that is Anne Nderitu, yesterday said that whereas she was yet to receive the protest letter, amendments to the coalition document may not be allowed without concurrence among all the member parties. So let me interrogate here. What now would happen if all the member parties do not agree with all the demands from the Wiper Party? Tabitha?
Yes, Victor.
Yes, I'm saying there was a letter which was written by Wiper leader to the Registrar of Political Parties having certain demands, but the Registrar, that is Anne Nderitu, said that whereas she has not received that letter, there must be some certain concurrence from all the members of the party. So what would happen if all those demands are not met by the members of the party?
Yes, Victor. I think if the demands are not met by the members of the party,
yes,
then of course we will see before this particular coalition is been registered. Then we will see many. We might see. I'm just saying. Many people or a few of the legislatures affiliated to Azimio going to other camps or going independent. That is before the nominations for their respective positions. Also, I do not know the fate of for example, Wiper as a party right now, because it cannot. I don't know, but it can't join the UDA camp. Basically, because UDA yesterday signed the coalition agreements for the individual parties forming the coalition, the UDA coalition, and they're good and ready to go. And Kalonzo has undisputedly said that he cannot join himself with the people who are not speaking the same language as is, which is integrity, yes? So, therefore, I do not know where he stands at the moment. But Victor, something very interesting about all this scenario, because it's only Wiper that is having a problem. Of course, we saw Alfred Mutua the other day, or was also having some issues here and there. But I think he resorted to internal mechanism of solving such disputes or matters rising up from his party or individual members, and I think they were resolved at that point, and it was good. So this issue of Wiper writing letters and bringing them to the public domain before consulting with the other principals, I think it's like what Mheshimiwa said, is a way of seeking for attention that he has actually an upper hand in the Ukambani region. Victor, one time I remember you asking me here that before Kalonzo joined, remember even before Honorable Kalonzo joined the Azimio coalition, it was not easy for him to join. It really gave the other principal a very hard time. Already when even Honorable Gideon Moi was here, he was still wanting, I don't know, his demands were very high. Now, when they were met, and he agreed that they were met, and he wanted us to have a conversation before we had the Azimio One Kenya alliance formed, then now he's coming up with other demands. So what is it saying about him as a person? I think he's appearing to be very selfish. And he's appearing to be somebody who does not know what he literally wants, and he is not here in good faith. And I've had my co-panelists saying that we cannot also underestimate the kind of influence that the other governors in Ukambani region are bringing in Azimio. If you ask me, Kibwana, for example, is not affiliated to Wiper in any way. Charity Ngilu by herself, she's not affiliated to Wiper. Honorable Alfred Mutua has his own party. So remember that even if he chooses not to, which I know he can't choose because he has no other best option, because as Kalonzo himself, his influence might be felt just at a given percentage, maybe 50% in Ukambani. So, and the whole country, he has not managed to win the hearts of other Kenyans that we can say that right now he can run for presidency. So what he needs to do literally is to calm himself down, sit down with other Azimio co-principals, because he went there willingly. He was not forced. Nobody was forced to join the coalition. And then have these conversations once and for all, so that we want to see the coalition moving on. And I think this kind of things coming up every now and then from one individual, literally, I think is wrecking the party in some way, and is making other members feel like we are trying to move a step ahead, and you are behaving like a mole in Azimio rather than a principal who also wants to build this Azimio coalition. So we need to see him decided. We want to see Kalonzo decided. And this idea of him always wanting to think that he can always have is way at the end of the day how he wants it, without considering other people, then it's not a theatric that we want to dance towards or play along with. Yes, Victor.
Yeah, all right. And Anthony, if you can hear me, there is an allegation that during that particular meeting yesterday, the Secretary General of ODM, that's Edwin Sifuna, and Jeremiah Kioni of Jubilee, did not attend the media briefing, with some sources said that they stormed out of that particular meeting. It seems that things are not so easy in that house, in the party, right?
Yes, Victor.
Anthony? All right.
I think one is having a problem.
Okay, take it away, Tabitha.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I think that is an indicator of things not being so well, or they did not reach some sort of an agreement, or the demands that were being made for them as a party. ODM at the end of the day is a party. Just like other parties, ODM also has to meet a certain threshold, even in terms of elective seats and things like that. So when it appears that I think at the moment for the Azimio coalition, it is appearing like the only thing that ODM needs is the presidential candidate position and nothing else. Victor, that can't happen, because at the end of the day...
Okay, but again, Tabitha, something quite interesting is that word has it that from that particular meeting, that Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka was using Oka to address the meeting, and even part of that letter was still under Oka. But we all know that Oka ceased to exist the moment they folded up and joined Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Alliance. So why One Kenya Alliance at this particular point?
Victor, from what I'm reading from Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, according to himself, their demands have not been fully met, and therefore they are not ceasing to exist as a coalition or as an alliance. So, and that is why he made for Azimio coalition. He said that no, it's not okay with them forming the Azimio One Kenya Alliance coalition yet. So I think that is an issue. They have not ceased to exist, and you realize every time they want to make progress on the registration, Kalonzo always brings something up. What is it that, I think that now Victor is very okay with writing letters and sharing it with the public rather than sharing it with the core principals in Azimio. It should also inform us that what does he really want, or what does Oka really want as an alliance.
Tabitha, one of the leaders, that is David Ocheng, who is the party leader of Movement for Democracy and Growth, said that as Oka principals, they did not meet to discuss the content of that letter.
So that means it's one-sided, right? That means it came from Kalonzo himself. And I think maybe Kalonzo is making a demand to want to be the vice president, maybe, of the Azimio coalition, like what I've had a few other political analysts put in front. Maybe that is one of his demands. But you see, Victor, Kalonzo also took a lot of time before joining Azimio. He's not been here for such a long time. He can't just come to the house and try and want to to arrange it for himself. I mean, every other person in that particular party as a principal represents a given percentage of the Kenyans or legislators in this other Azimio affiliated parties. So what he needs to do is he needs to be someone who also talk or listens to what other people bring on board. And even if he wants to talk, let him talk in a way that is communicating enough, as such that, because now that as us as the public, we have known that he does not want the coalition, Azimio coalition, to be registered, and One Kenya Alliance coalition to be registered. So what is it really that we are going to help him with? It's just upon himself to have these conversations in the round table. I think that is how gentlemen should behave. And that is what I think Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka should do. I think that, Victor, as I said, you were talking about Edwin Sifuna storming out of the meeting yesterday and other Secretary General for different parties. I think that the demands they're making for ODM sometimes, I think because ODM is being supported to have a presidential candidate, they're trying to also not see the bigger picture that ODM is also a party that also needs other elective seats equally as they do. So they need to literally have a consensus around this. We need to have a consensus around this. We need to literally see these parties, merging up as one, not speaking different tones in the public. And if at all there is any sort of let them have the conversation in using the internal resolvement mechanisms. Yes.
Okay. Tabitha, thank you for that. Anthony, from Kitutu, from Siaya to Kisii. Anthony, let me get your view on this particular question now that the Registrar of Political Parties says that she's not just received that letter. And now what would happen next for Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka? What if he decides to opt out of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance? It's like you have muted your... Anthony, please unmute your mic, kindly.
Okay.
Yes. Perfect. Perfect.
I think Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka is being unrealistic.
Challenges of having technology. All right, Anthony, take it away.
Okay. Yeah. I think Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka is being unrealistic with the kind of demands he's making, and actually with the kind of weight is bringing to the Azimio coalition. Of course, the law prohibits being in two coalitions, and if he still is in Oka and he's still in Azimio, I don't see how that deal is, because even the other principal. Other principals like Mother Karua have already made their decision. Now, with the kind of hula baloos he's bringing, I think those are tantrums that do not make any sense and they do not make of a national leader. I think he better leaves, the earlier he leaves, the better, other than wrecking the coalition from within. And on the other side, he's using this opportunity, of course, to probably demand some special seat of the DD, as my co-host Tabitha said. Now, if I don't think he qualifies right now to be the deputy president to the Right Honorable Prime Minister right now. It does not bring the kind of weight. I mean, there is a big difference between what he's trying to bring out, that he has a lot of support and from the Kenyan people, and himself as a person. He's a self-seeker. I think he's a self-centered, and I think it's not right. It does not bring that kind of weight to the Azimio. To me, it's a non-factor in Azimio, and Azimio should go forward without him. That's my maker.
All right. All right. So as that was happening yesterday, we also had Deputy President William Ruto getting a nod, actually support from 12 different parties. That was happening at Ngong Racecourse. Tabitha, something quite peculiar that Kenyans took to social media, and the picture on the front page of the Star here, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Out of the 12 parties that supported the Deputy President's bid, none of them was a woman. Tabitha.
Yes, Victor, I've been waiting. And I'm actually president of the party of the UDA coalition. Do not recognize the significance of taking top the coalition or conversations. None of that we have seen happening. Because even Honorable Anway Guru, of course, we would have expected that she should be there. And represent the voice of the women in the signing of the coalition from the other affiliated parties that are joining up from the UDA coalition. The fact that we could not see any woman amongst the 12 principals that are joining in to form the UDA coalition and giving the go-ahead to be the flag bearer, it's very disheartening that we can have a presidential candidate who does not advocate or stand for, or even appear to be seen to support the space of women in taking up leadership positions and even being involved in decision making. So how sure are we that, Victor, for example, that the women of that party...
Okay. All right. Let me give you an overview of what happened. The different parties that yesterday joined... Okay, Tabitha, coming back to you shortly. 8 parties on Tuesday joined the alliance and were received by Kenya Kwanza founding leaders from United Democratic Alliance, that is Amani National Congress, and Ford Kenya. And the parties are Democratic Party, led by Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, signed an agreement with Kenya Kwanza on Saturday and hit the campaign trail a day after. Parties that signed the agreements are Chama cha Kazi, Communist Party of Kenya, Devolution Party of Kenya, Farmers Party, the Economic Freedom Party, the Service Party, Umoja Maendeleo Party, and Tujibebe wa Kenya Party. Each of the parties will retain its identity while supporting the alliance presidential flag bearer. So, Tabitha, your closing remarks as we come to a close.
All right, as we come to a close, I'll close on the basis of the women and representation, and I think that UDA coalition and the individually affiliated parties, they need to include women in conversations that matters to them, and even the coalition agreement conversations, because we have women in those particular parties. We don't only need them to fill in those particular spaces when they're having meetings, but we need their voices to be heard. And also, it's my appeal that even as the country goes into the nominations, it's my appeal that Kenyans, if a woman meets the credentials and meets the requirements to vie for that particular seat, or meets the threshold like any other candidate does. Let us give them opportunity to serve, because women are equally capable. Women can deliver. We have seen women leaders in this country with good track records, like Honorable Charity Ngilu, Honorable Martha Karua. They have shown without a doubt that women, if given opportunity to serve, they can do it with diligence. So we should include women in the spaces of leadership. Not only are they supposed to be there to make the illusion that the two-thirds genders rule is something that is being discussed and something that wants to be met, let them literally, physically be represented in conversations that matters to them.
All right. Tabitha, Ogutu there. Let me get your final remarks. Anthony?
Yes, thank you. As Tabitha said, women should be given an opportunity and should be supported so much to take leadership positions, especially at the higher helm of leadership in our country. It's ironic to see UDA do not give women a chance. Ladies like Alice Wahome, I think they have, and even Martha Karua and the like, and Charity Ngilu, they are very strong. They have strong personalities, and they should be given opportunities. I don't think I don't think that it is right that they are not considered, or they do not put their foot forward to the same position. Now, the ladies should not be used in the pulpits as flower girls, just dancing and being used for aesthetic values in the political arenas. They should also be given opportunities in the leadership. Going back to the Kalonzo Musyoka, I think he's expiring himself. I think that's the best thing I can say. With the kind of demands, he's expiring himself in terms of trying to make unrealistic demands, and surely sitting on the negotiation tables, and then all of a sudden coming to the public to write letters or complaining on the main media that of his dissatisfaction. Finally, Okay.
All right, thank you, Anthony, because we just ran out of time. We wish you all the best now that you are facing the ballot on 21st of this month in Kitutu, Masaba. From KBC, we wish you all the best, and may the best person win. We've been speaking to Anthony Ogato from Kitutu Masaba, MP aspirant in Kitutu Masaba, as well as Tabitha Ogutu from Siaya County, who is our political analyst. All right, that's where we end this particular debate. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. That's where we wrap it up. On behalf of the entire team, have a good day. Bye-bye.